Hey guys, and welcome to my shed. Well, on this, I'm giving the old Landy a rebirth. Good sand down.
Pretty exciting stuff. Getting the old Landy back to what it used to be, so pretty cool.
So what we're doing here, we've taken the wrap off. She's taken a lot of the paint off at the same time. But she's got a few bruises and scratches all around it. So we've got to give it a bit of bog here and there and a bit of panel beating here and there. But I think she'll come up pretty good. She's in pretty good shape for how old she is and how much she's been through. Step one, sand her down. So get it all back to bare aluminium and steel where we need to, and then start doing the prep work. And here we go, we've got the doors getting sanded down here, and in this other door here, I've actually cut the rust out of the bottom frame because it's steel under the aluminium. Now we've got the bog work into the body side of things, so it's ready for the undercoat. So we're giving a first coat of undercoat, so we're just getting all over the patches, and then we'll give it 2 good full coats. So basically we've got 3 coats on all the repaired areas, and that way we can give it a good block down, get it nice and straight, ready for paint. She's come up pretty good though for an old girl. Well, we've got the guide coat on, and all we need to do now is give it the rub down. Well, we've got the landrover on the build now. We've got the undercoat on it. So it's all sprayed up with undercoat. All the repairs are done. I've actually rubbed down all inside the back here, or scoured it all down. So that's going to get, I was going to Repticoat it, but now I'm just going to stone guard it and then put colour over the top of it. But as you can see, it's all undercoated, ready for the paint. And what we'll do then is get it all rubbed down today. I've got all the other panels floating around the place. As you can see, it's all done. I've just washed it down a bit. Got all the other panels, they're all floating around the place, all ready to go. And I've started inside here on the tailgate. So I've been rubbing that this morning, and it's not far off being done now. And we'll get some top coat colour on. Can't wait for that. Should look good. Vanatti grey, which is like a gunmetal grey, which is the colour it was before. So that was off the Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Love the colour. So pretty exciting. So what I'm actually doing is I'm going to wet rub it down with 180 grit, followed by a bit of 400 grit, and then topped it off with 800. Now that'll get it all sanded back, make it all nice and smooth. As you can see down here, I've got a bit of a guide coat, which is that black haze. That's what I'm rubbing off. That tells me any highs and lows. And then anything I rub through, I'll dust a bit of primer on, and then I can base coat it with the base coat and then clear coat it. So exciting times, can't wait for this to happen, get it done. You know, something that's really hard when you're rubbing down a Land Rover, like I'm rubbing down 180 at the moment, wet rubbing it with a block, is the pot rivets. So, and the spot welds, because they're just everywhere, all over the place. The hard part is, you've got to make sure you rub those areas as well. So when you block it, you just can't block it straight. But I think it'll turn out all right, but we'll just keep persevering. A lot of detail goes into this. So I've actually rubbed most of this side with the 180. I've got to wash it all down, of course. I've rubbed the front guard. So it's all slowly coming together. Oh, she's rubbed down now. We've got to do our final checks because you can't see everything in this sort of lighting. So it's always good to give it a wax and grease remove. And then we'll sand over a whole lot of it. Like I'm still blocking a bit of the back there, so I can still do that at any time. But now I'm giving it the final finish with 800.
So what I'm actually doing is taking all the scratch marks out with a bit of 800 to clean it all up. So what I'm doing now.
So now we're going to start with the base coat. So I'm just going to give a couple of spots on this bonnet, and the rest of the thing gets a full coat all over it. Now I'll probably give it 3 to 4 coats with a haze over it to take any modelling out or any stripes.
Alright, well we're up to the last part of the paint. So I've put the base coat on. Now the base coat we used was Protect, and that's a 1-to-1 mix. One there. We've painted it in Bonatti Grey, so it's all base coated up, as you can see. So the next part is the clear. So we're going to use a two part, so it's 2:1. So 2 part clear, 1 part hardener, and reduce it up to probably 10 or 20%. Just depends how, like it's quite warm in here, and we are in a shed, so we're not a spray booth or anything like that. I've just got a fan, and I've just got circulation and ventilation just from the 2 doors. So I'm using a Sunstrong mask, that one there. And then this is the clear. We're going to use Car Master clear, and that's the hardener right there. So I'm going to mix that up now and get that on. So should look pretty good when she's all done.
So now what I'm going to do is going to give it 2 good coats. Now I've got to make sure I get full flow and coverage as I do this. Now the one thing you really look at is the flow of it. And with not good lighting, you know, you've got to sort of get on some angles, and it's quite good, but it has come up quite well.
Alright, so we finally got the final coat of clear on, and it hasn't come up too bad at all. For a shed repaint, I don't think I'm going to complain too much. Looks $1 million. So that's it, all finished now. Now the next part is to demask it all and start putting it together.
Now the important part about doing repaints, it doesn't matter what the repaint is the preparation. So it's a fair whack of preparation that goes in it to get the finish. And I've sort of spent a fair bit of time on this, as you can sort of see with the finish, so that there is a high detail of gloss, shine, without sandpaper marks in it and all that sort of stuff. So that sort of tells its own story. Now if you're liking what I'm doing here, make sure you give us a like and subscribe, because I want to do a lot more of this sort of stuff and sort of show and tell my different builds, and you know, this is what I get to do in my spare time and I sort of enjoy doing it. So if I can give you any tips or tricks, you know, give us a follow. Also in the back of the back, I actually stone guarded that and painted over the top of it. It always gets knocked around in the back of the vehicles and whatnot. This is Jamie's shed.